Common in Sports Network.
Hello and welcome in, NFL family. It is the most exciting week of the year, the most exciting day of the year in the offseason, especially. It is draft day. Yes, officially NFL draft day after months of mock drafts and rising and falling and critiquing players under a microscope. The real deal is here. Drama playing out in real time. It is reality TV at its finest. The NFL Day 1, Round 1 tonight in Pittsburgh at 8 p.m. Eastern. I am Lawrence Foster, leading you into the Prime Show tonight with the rest of the Come On In Sports Network. We'll be with you live all throughout the draft 3-day process here at the Come On In Sports Network. So this is a special edition of the weekly wrap, which usually is on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. But with the draft this week, we're having some special editions. So welcome in, everybody. How we all doing? Hope we're all excited about these games, what's going on. This show will hopefully be driven by all you. Any questions, thoughts you have about what's going to happen, you guys, I hope, can lead the discussion tonight, but we'll be talking about all the teams if we can in the next 90 minutes. I'll be leading you right up into the start of the draft, where we'll have Dolph, TJ, and Carlos at the helm for that, with some special guests sprinkled in along the way, especially after the first pick of the Raiders, assuming it's Mendoza. So make sure you tune in for that and stay with us all throughout these 3 days. So we welcome in everybody. We have our first discussion post we'll have showing up here. We're going to skip over the Raiders. I think the first part of the draft and the first thing that really determines what happens on the draft is going to be what did the Jets do? It's mocked pretty much always. It's either between Bain or Arvell Reese. And just the question for the Jets is, which direction do they go? Which pass rusher do they want? The Jets kind of have probably the best out of all worlds here in terms of teams that have 2 first-round picks. Their only quarterback won't be on the board for them, so they have the pick of the litter everywhere else. So I think the smart move here would be to get the pass rusher, then get the pass catcher with their second first-round pick. But it's all really just preference to me. You've seen a lot of mocks there. Normal guy, welcome in. Glad to see you. Hope we're having a great week and a Thursday night. Hope you're excited for the draft. Normal guy says Reese. I've seen a lot of that as well as Ohio State guy. All for that as well. But it's pretty clear they're going. What's going on, Fly God? Welcome in as well. Again, everyone, welcome into the Come On In Sports Network. Lawrence Foster here with the special edition of the weekly wrap, a pre-draft show leading right up into the draft at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And then obviously we'll have our main crew doing the live pick-by-pick new analysis and thoughts as it happens in real time. So make sure you stay tuned with us on the Come On In Sports Network throughout the entire night. And then I'll be back on after the draft to do a post-draft show as well. So normal guy thinks Reese. The biggest curveball will be if they do something besides a edge, because every single mock I've seen, no matter what Dan Jeremiah, Dan Brugler, any of the beat reporters, any of them that have done a mock, it's either Reese or it's Bain. Like the real wrench would be like if somebody trades up to get in front of somebody, and there's a few teams that are rumored to be wanting to move up. I think Dallas being one of them that has the 2 first-round picks, but are going to kind of miss out on the top of the impact in terms of defensive players. I could definitely see Dallas pairing both of their first-round picks to make a big move up into the top 10. JG, welcome in. Let's go indeed, my man. Draft tonight. Speaking of which, I got to say, this morning I did watch Draft Day, my now yearly tradition of watching that movie either the eve or the day of the draft. Yes, it's cheesy. Yes, it's kind of not realistic, but it's also fun. It's not supposed to be some big drama. It's supposed to be a fun movie, and it is. Uncle Jerry in the building. What up? But yes, we're talking about the Jets. And I'm just thinking about who can possibly move up and kind of do the first kind of curveball here. Yeah, normal guy, you must be a mind reader, because that's literally what my point of bringing Dallas up was that now that Pickens officially signed his franchise tag. Again, if you haven't heard that, because it was breaking, I think, in the last hour. So yes, normal guy's right. We'll leave it up on the screen for anybody who doesn't know. George Pickens did sign his franchise tag, which means he is tradable at this point. There was a report that Jerry Jones had a conversation with Pickens' agent. It was cordial. Then he signs the tender. So I wonder, is this going to be a kind of ready to make a move type signing instead of a deal type signing? Also rumored to be in trading, the Jaguars are rumored to be looking to get up into the first if they're a person they want is there. And BTJ is one of those people that is mentioned as a chip to kind of throw in there. But yes, Dallas is going to, I think, be the most intriguing team in the early part of this draft, because the Giants aren't going to, I mean, they got 2 picks in the top 10, but they're not going to be moving from there. They're going to keep 5. They're going to keep 10. The Cowboys, though, like, they're 12-20. I could really see them being like, man, we're going to miss out on whoever we want. I don't think Caleb Downs falls that far. They're going to be happy with Thieneman as a second safety. I mean, a lot of people have him going there. If they do that, I think that I'd try to fire them. I try to get it at 20 instead. But yeah, the Jets is where there's no intrigue of pick number 1 at all. So even though we don't know officially, quote unquote, that they're not going to take Mendoza, he's going there. So if the Jets stay chalk, which I imagine they're going to, the Cardinals are the ones. I think this is where the real action starts. If anybody follows Daniel Jeremiah, and he released his final mock draft yesterday, and he had the Saints trading up to the 3 spot with the Cardinals to take Arvell Reese. So I think that's the Cardinals need a ton. Like their general manager said, they need a ton. This would be the team that would make a move for that. Then they might take less than a team normally would, just to accumulate those extra picks that they need to fill that roster. So the Cardinals, are they going to trade? I think the Saints, I don't think Jeremiah would just throw that out there without any sort of inside knowledge or just insight there, but he had the Saints moving up to 3, so I think that's a realistic thing. Jason, welcome in the house. I hope Pittsburgh gets a good quarterback. Jason, what would you think about like a Ty Simpson at 20, or like if you have a different quarterback you like, but would that be a day 2 thing for you? Or are you on the boat of wanting Ty Simpson round 1? Per Jordan Schultz have been calling the Texans about Nico Collins, but yeah, that'd be crazy if Nico got traded, because Dell had just had major injuries the last 3 years. He's coming off another one this past year. Higgins had a pretty solid rookie year for him, 100%. But Nico's that guy for them. So that'd be a blockbuster of a deal if Nico Collins gets traded. I think there's going to be a big trade tonight. Like, there's already so many. I think 23 from what I saw already. Jason doesn't know much about the players did me being in Australia, but I am a massive Steelers fan. Well, as a Steelers fan, you're going to get especially in Australia, you get a really good chance to kind of see the kind of what Pittsburgh's all about. The NFL does a really good job of showcasing the city that the draft is in, which is why I kind of love that they moved it out of always being at Radio City Music Hall in New York City. Like last year, we got a really good look at Green Bay for people that never get to go there, or probably never will. If you're a Steelers fan, like Pittsburgh, just a very underrated city. They have like probably the best ballpark and best view in terms of baseball. The Pirates have a absolutely gorgeous stadium with a gorgeous view. And I imagine there are going to be lots of just like B-roll and just shots and little clips of the city as a whole because it's a big showcase. They're going to get 600, 700,000 people over these 3 days. And it's a big chance for this city to kind of be like, hey, come visit us even though the draft's not here. But go back to what Normal Guy said about Nico Collins. If there's calls, like I wonder if a team, if they miss out on like Jordan Tyson or Tate from Ohio State, if a team will be like, man, we need to get somebody, we need to make a splash. Does Nico Collins be a big splash? He's a very productive guy who hasn't had much support around him, and he still produces every single year. He had his breakout year, CJ Stroud's rookie year, and though even CJ's kind of fallen back. Andre says, who's your favorite receiver in this class? I think I like Mekhi Lemon, the way he plays the game. I'm an Ohio State fan, but Tate, I think, is a great number 2. I think his floor is really high. But if I had to pick, like, just out if I had a choice of all of them, I think I really like Mekhi Lemon. He can do a lot of different things. He's like very smooth in his routes. And just, I mean, he won the Blitnikoff Award this past year as well for USC. Tyson, I think, would have been the answer, but he has legit injury concerns, like so many injuries the last 3 years that's a real big red flag, especially if you can spend a premium asset of a first-round pick on him. Andre says Tate, everything about his game transfers. Oh yeah, like Tate would be perfect. Like I'm a Bills fan, obviously, like go Bills. But I would, if I'm a Saints fan, I would love to see Tate with Olave. Like that's a perfect spot for him. He doesn't have to be the guy, but he'll be a good like 1A type person. The Saints having him and Olave would be like a game changer for them offensively. But yeah, I'm with you, Andre. I like him, and I really do. I love, as an Ohio State fan, I've loved watching him the past few years, even though the other receivers get a lot of the attention, a lot of the, media hype and talk. Tate's just there doing his thing. He is aggressive. Jason from Australia. I go for Pittsburgh in the NFL, Chicago in the NFL, Philly in basketball, and the Dodgers in LA. So my teams are different cities. Yeah, man, that'd be great. And I think if you could, I don't know when the best, I don't think you'd be able to hit all the sports. You could definitely come in like August, like late August, and do baseball, football. Basketball would be the hard one to be able to find a time where all the sports are going on. What Buffalo does. Andre, Bean's done it numerous times, especially sitting at 26 and not having a second round pick. I think Buffalo is one of those teams that a team that's at the top of the second round, that like the Cardinals or the Jets, if Ty Simpson's sitting there, them moving up 6 spots to get that first round pick, to get that 5th-year option on him, I really think that's a very realistic thing for Buffalo. But if not that, I do think it's going to be a defensive lineman of some sort, either like a big space eater like Woods or McDonald from Ohio State, or one of the edges who falls down like Cassius Howell or somebody like that. I wouldn't mind Rodriguez either. Like I'm starting to get on the boat of, I'm liking what I see from Rodriguez, like his interviews, his highlight tapes. Buffalo's linebackers are weak. So I'd also be on the board with that train as well. Jason likes the draft system, gives the bad teams 100%. The NFL has nailed the draft process. The worst teams get the best draft capital. What they do with it's up to them. They can trade it for veterans, trade it for more picks, but at least they have it. It's not like a lottery where every team that doesn't make the playoffs has a chance to get the top pick. And every year there's a worst to first story. That, to me, that's why the NFL is so awesome. That year to year, every NFL team, aside from like the Jets, sorry, can have legitimate hopes and dreams of, hey, why can't we do what the Patriots just did? Right? They went from last a few years in a row to the Super Bowl. If you get the right coach, things can change just like that. They spent their money wisely in free agency. Yeah, I think Tennessee would be a perfect fit for him 100%, Andre. I'm with you on that. A lot of people are saying the Cardinals. I don't see it. They have Connor. They signed Tyler Algier. They already got two legitimate guys there. Like, then one of them would get phased out, like especially after just signing him. But yeah, I think Tennessee is the perfect spot for him. And Ward what sets Love apart is that he's a 3-down player. Like, you can go split him out kind of like CMC. He can go out into the slot and run a legit pattern. A lot of people think when they think of pass catching, like, oh, it's just, screens. Not in today's modern NFL. If you can have a running back who can actually do some of the actual tree, that's going to be 100% it. And when you think of the Titans, when have they been at their best over the last 25, 30 years? When they've had Eddie George, when they've had Derrick Henry, right? That's when they've been at their best. Like, even Chris Johnson, right? When Tennessee has been good and like one of the top teams, they've had their running backs. It's not been they've had good quarterbacks, but it's not been them. Sadiq in the top 10. I really think Sadiq goes to Baltimore. Think about what Lamar Jackson likes to do. Lamar is a tight end guy, a tight end thrower. Mark Andrews all the time. They lost Likely. Andrews is getting long in the tooth. Sadiq would be a perfect pick for them right now, where he doesn't have to be the guy because Andrews is still a viable guy. But in a year or two, Sadiq's ready to take over, and Lamar has his tight end, which he loves to throw to. But he's intriguing. Like, Sadiq has all the tools, but the production in college hasn't matched what you see on like a spreadsheet or at the combine or in his measurables. But a lot of like what this NFL is just, is projection. It's like, what can he become with us? He has the frame, he has the tools. Can we get the most out of him? And that's where coaching really matters. Coaching, I think it's overlooked a lot. It can make a huge difference in a player, in a franchise. You can have the best players in the world, but if you have a coach that can't develop them, get them cohesive, it's not going to go anywhere. Yep, Andre, 100%. It's watching Sadiq, again, a lot of it's highlight tapes, which the best plays anyway. But it's easy to see him doing those things in the NFL, especially in Baltimore. Like, two tight end sets with Andrews and him, that's gonna be a pretty rough matchup, because are they going to run the ball? Like, with two tight ends in there, you got to have some, maybe that extra linebackers in there. Then bam, you can isolate him on Sadiq. That's a matchup Baltimore will take. So I've been on the Sadiq to the Ravens for months. It just makes too much sense. Yeah, Jason, I watch college football every Saturday, 100%. I don't follow it to the point where I'm going to know all these players. By goodness, no. But I'm watching the games. I'm watching the what I used to love the Pac-12 at dark, and like those are great games on the West Coast. What's up, not human? How we doing? Ohio State, Chris Henry kid is going to be ridiculous. Yeah, Ohio State is it's going to be amazing at the end of the first round when we see how many Ohio State players were drafted. How didn't they win the championship? And again, I'm going to just say it's coaching. Cignetti is a superior coach to Ryan Day. If you give Cignetti the Ohio State players, we're talking about this Ohio State team as one of the best in history. That's how good of a coach Cignetti is. He's won everywhere he's went. The fact that Indiana's been in the playoffs 2 years and just had an undefeated national championship season shows that. USA Today had a really good article on that, like saying this draft is going to be a really good kind of like feather in Cignetti's cap of, yeah, there are going to be some Indiana players drafted, but it's not going to be like past championship teams with 10 and more. Andre says 100% Cignetti would make you guys a dynasty. It'd be similar to Bama. Yeah, 100%. I've not been a fan of Ryan Day. He's lucky that they got into the playoffs the year they won the championship. After that, just egg they laid against Michigan that year. If they don't make the playoffs, which they would have a legit case not to after that loss, he would have been fired. I 100% believe it. He saved his job by winning that championship. Jason asks, is it common for the college player to struggle in NFL? Yeah, it's the draft is really, Jason, a crapshoot. It truly is. That's what makes it like it just. That's why NFL media people, they do so many mock drafts and like you never know who's going where. Like things that you were 100% sure of. Like I think about players like Robert Gallery, right? Who wasn't what everyone thought, but everyone's like coming in, oh man, Gallery's a 15-year starter. He's going to be he's going to be a gold jacket type guy. No. Sneaky running backs that can handle a workload. You know how I really like, speaking of Indiana, is that Kalen Black from Indiana. I really like his game. Like he's a kind of compact guy, but he can really get you those tough yarders. I think the Packers need somebody like that. Like to spell Jacobs, because if Jacobs gets hurt, he's out. Like they don't have that type of guy. And he's getting towards the end of his career, right? That'd be perfect to get him, have a year overlap, and then boom, you don't really have to change your offense. I really liked him in this process, like either like round 3 or 4 type guy. Not a human being is Roll Tide, Bama. All right. Yeah, I really like him in terms of running backs. And Kadarian Price too. Like, I think if he wasn't behind Love, he'd be higher up the board. But he stayed there. In today's college game, you got to give the kid props for not leaving, because like, who stays nowadays when you're second on a team? Is it Tulane then, not a human? Tulane Green Wave, is that what you're doing? I see Roll and Water. I think of Roll Tide. What's going on, Atlanta? What's going on? Welcome in. We got a nice lively chat going on here. You guys are leading the show. We love that here at the Come On In Sports Network. Green Wave. Well, I didn't see the Green Wave, not a human, but I think I got you now. I got you now. But Cowboy Falcons. What do you think will be to benefit who you think will benefit the most this draft season? I think the Giants getting that second top 10 pick. They got a proven winner of a head coach in Harbaugh. He's brought in Harbaugh guys, and they're going to be able to get 2 impact starters. So I think by the time this is done, I think the Giants are sitting pretty. And injuries aside, I would think they would be kind of like the pick to be like, who's going to be this year's Patriots? I mean, just obviously purely on paper, I would pick the Giants if my money was on it, if I had to. Atlanta Falcons Fandemic says he's been hearing rumors that Carnell Tate stock has dropped significantly. What is your take? My take is that's the Saints putting that out there, hoping that he falls to them at 8 so they don't have to trade up and get him. That's my take on that. Andre and I were talking about him earlier. He's Andre's favorite receiver in the draft. He's my probably second favorite. I don't think he has the ceiling of some of the others, but his floor is much higher. You know what you're going to get in him. And if you draft him to a team like the Saints or if the Giants decide to take him at 5, he can be that guy if Neighbors isn't ready at the start of the year or if Olave gets hurt or he's had those concussion issues, right? Tate can go and step in and be the guy for a couple weeks. The man is consistent. He catches the ball. Like players like Concepcion, like they have a higher upside, but what's his issue? Everyone talks about his drops. Well, it's kind of a big issue to have if you're a receiver, right? That's kind of a big issue to have. That'd be like running back who fumbles a lot. Great, you run for 100 yards, but you put the ball on the ground twice. I think that offsets a little bit of it. But I'm like, Ohio State just produces receiver after receiver, which is kind of funny that Marvin Harrison has kind of had a lackluster first 2 years in his league. But he kind of did pick it up at the end of last year. But let's talk about veterans that might get traded today. We brought up earlier that George Pickens has signed his franchise tag tender, which now makes him officially able to be traded. The fact that it's happened like right before the start of the draft, I don't think is a coincidence. I think either A, it's Jerry, like it's like lighting a fire under let's get a deal done, or it's a, hey, we're not going to be able to come to terms on an agreement. Let's make a move now. Because Dallas is in a position to take one of the top receivers if they want to, and obviously going to be way cheaper than paying the franchise tag. And then considering that Waddle got a first-round pick, I would imagine Pickens gets a little bit more than that, like a first, maybe a third or something like that, or a first and a player. Like if the franchise tag wasn't such a deterrent, like I would say my Bills would be a candidate for him if it's just a first-round pick and like, hey, we'll throw in Keon Coleman, like who needs a change of scenery. I mean, he was just a second-round pick 2 years ago. BTJ, I think, has a chance to get traded because there's talk about Jacksonville wanting to move up and him being maybe a possible chip to do so to get into the first round. But I really do think there'll be a big trade tonight that involves a veteran. Some underrated, under-the-radar things. Will Levis, is he going to get traded? Does Spencer Rattler stay on the Saints? Right, a couple of quarterbacks, like if a team maybe misses out on Ty Simpson in the second, is Anthony Richardson going to get traded? Like I could see those things happening. Like that aren't huge splashes, but just young quarterbacks who just haven't exactly panned out. But we've seen over the past 5 years, a change of scenery can really make a big difference. I think the primary example I think of a second-round quarterback or later who didn't show out at his first stop is Malik Willis. Like, what did he show in Tennessee? Not much of anything. He went to the Packers. They were kind of like, no one really gave it a second glance when that happened. And look what happened the last 2 years when Love has gotten hurt. Willis has went in, and the Packers really haven't missed a beat with that. And that's what led the Dolphins assigning him to such a big deal and he's their guy now. So, I mean, I could see someone like a Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, like going and just knowing, hey, I don't got to do anything. I can get myself right mentally. Those things make a difference. Mitch Trubisky did that. He was a playoff quarterback, first-round pick of the Bears. Took a backup job with the Bills. And then he was able to turn that into a starter deal with the Steelers. But then obviously the Kenny Pickett thing and everything. But Levis, somebody I could see doing it. But we're less than an hour away from the start of the NFL draft. If you are just joining us, I am Lawrence Foster with the special edition of the Weekly Wrap. We are the NFL Draft Day 1 pre-show leading right up to the start of the draft, which will be on the Come On In Sports Network as well. We'll have Carlos, we'll have TJ, we will have obviously Dolph, and some special guests sprinkled in throughout the show. Former big-time newspaper writers are going to be joining at some point in there. We might have some special things after Raiders picks. You never know who's going to drop in on the Come On In Sports Network. So make sure you hang out with us for the entire draft process. And then after the draft, I will be back with you for a post-round 1 recap. We'll talk about everything that happened, talk about some players who are still left heading into day 2. And I love that the NFL, I always used to love the Saturday, Sunday drafts, but now that we've gotten used to this, I like the gap between day 1 and 2, between round 1 and 2, and even the gap between rounds 3 and 4 between Friday and Saturday. It gives teams a chance to regroup, reset their boards, make calls, and see some action at the top of each of those rounds with players they want to move up and get maybe they never thought would be there in the first place. But another big question we have is really, who is the second quarterback? And who takes him? It seems like it's widely accepted that it's going to be Ty Simpson. But that's in the eye of the beholder. Garrett Nussmeier was presumed to be a first-round pick at the start of last year. And look how that turned out. It's been reported they had a core injury. Drew Allard from Penn State got hurt. Cade Klubnik kind of felt like there's players who were projected to be much higher than him just falling down. I'm not a big, Ty Simpson at the second half of the year just went downhill. So, there's obviously downside to all of them. Come on in at Sports Network. What's going on? Dolph in the house. Good to see you, Dolph. We are live for 33 minutes. Nice, lively conversation from the chat so far, helping drive the show. We are 57 minutes away. All right. We have Fandemic saying Carson Beck might be the number 2. You think no quarterback's been through more of a ride than him, right? Like, he was on top of the world at Georgia, then kind of was blamed for a lot of their shortcomings, went to Miami, led them to a national championship game, beat Ohio State. So, if you're looking for somebody that's not going to be afraid of he's been in the limelight for years. He's been in big pressure situations. He's been with turmoil. I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it at all. NFL Nation, leave your comments 100%. You guys have been driving the show thus far. I love the comments. Atlanta Fandemic, Andre in the house, Jason. Thank you all for your comments and questions and thoughts so far. Keep them coming, guys. We are 56 minutes from the start of the draft. But the second quarterback, is it Carson Beck? Is it Ty Simpson? Is it going to be Garrett Nussmeier is going to be a dark horse candidate that nobody's thinking about. Seems like every year there's one or two players that go in the first round that nobody ever thought would be going there. They never can say never. And that's why I love Draft Day. The movie. It's such a fun way to get ready for the draft. Yes, it gets slammed by it's not supposed to be a pure thing. Like if it was built like a drama, then sure, okay, then yeah, you can slam it. It's supposed to be a fun kind of caricature of what a draft day and room might be like. Come on in sports, Dalvaz. Could Arizona throw a major curve? If they drafted him at 3, that'd be a huge curveball. 100%. That would change the whole outlook of the draft. I think along those lines, I think Arizona moves up into the bottom of the first to get Simpson. And I think right around Buffalo's pick is where, like, so many people have had mocked that move of somebody moving up to the Bills to take Simpson. I think it's going to be Arizona or the Jets that do it. I don't think Buffalo's like a lot of teams like, oh, I'm not going to help a division rival get a quarterback. I don't think Buffalo's afraid of that. If you're afraid of that, that means you don't trust what you're doing. If the Jets offer the best deal, who cares if they get who they want? Just like a few years ago when the Bills traded with the Chiefs and they got Xavier Worthy, and everyone's like, oh, how'd the Bills do it? The Chiefs, I would imagine, offered him the best deal. And 2 years later, neither the Bills or the Chiefs are any better, really. Worthy and Coleman have underperformed by a long shot. Atlanta Falcons Fandemic and Cowboy says, hit those buttons and subscribe. 100%, guys. Subscribe to us. We're on YouTube. We're on X. I'm always going to want to call it Twitter. I'm that old man now. But X, we're on YouTube. We're on Substack. Follow us everywhere. Follow us tonight. We're going to be live throughout tonight. We're going to be live throughout tomorrow. We're going to be live on Saturday. We got you covered in all aspects of the draft at the Come On In Sports Network. We got you covered with basketball, with Nan and Zach. We got you covered with the Falcons, with Cowboy, the Saints, Carlos and Dolph, and we got Coach Rock coming. So lots of us here. We want you guys to jump in as well. But who are the teams? We talked about some of the quarterback teams. Cardinals can move up to get one. Jets can move up to get one. Does anybody else? The Raiders are obviously going to get theirs first. Titans don't need one. Like, people have talked about the Browns, and I think their general manager even said, like, they're not going to shy away from adding a quarterback if they think one's there to the already stacked. Well, stacked is the wrong word because that implies that they're good. Filled quarterback room in Cleveland. All right, they drafted Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round, Shedeur in the 5th, Deshaun Watson in his huge deal. The Browns are finally almost out from under what they gave up to get Watson. The money's still there, but the assets are now kind of in the past. Follow us on platforms, but follow Fanatic and his Falcons to the Super Bowl. Oh, my goodness, Falcons. But there was news about the Falcons boy Pierce. Looks like he's going to be like a 6-month kind of probationary program, and if all is good in that 6 months, the charges will not be filed or continued. They'll be dropped. Now, if that happens, I did read that the NFL will he'll get punished by the NFL under the personal conduct policy. But that's a topic for another day because I could go on about that and my thoughts on that whole thing. But that's for another day. This is for the draft. Speaking of which, I don't have anything up on Twitter, making sure nothing is broken in the last 40 minutes that I've been on. They put the new stuff came out on Vrabel today from 6 years ago by the looks of it. Vrabel is actually going to talk to the media at 7:20, I think. I'm sure he won't get asked about the photos at all. Jordan Schultz tweeted out that an NFL GM said that he hopes an AFC team takes Caleb Downs. Yeah, I love Caleb Downs. Forget about his knee issues. Like, take the man. He's a game changer. I'm just checking, make sure there's no. I see we're talking about with Nico Collins being asked to discuss in a trade. That's probably not going to happen. Ryan Day's on the College Game Day show for the draft. That's good. All right, so no real breaking news that I see on X at this point. Arizona may not want the chance missing out on Ty Simpson. They would have to pay a significant price to move back up in the first round to get in front of Jets. I hope so. As a fan of a team at the bottom of the first round, I hope the Jets and the Cardinals want to get into a bidding war for that. Give me all them picks. Downs the Saints at 8. Yeah, I think the Saints go either Downs or Tate, assuming either are there. I think the Giants take one of them too. I think Downs or Tate goes to the Giants at 5. That's my prediction for their first pick. With multiple teams having multiple picks in the first, be a lot of shuffling. Yeah. A lot of, from what I've been reading, like on like socials, like, and I don't read like people that aren't in the know. Like I'm talking about from Schefter, from Jeremiah, like Daniel Jeremiah and Ian Rappaport. They're saying they feel like it's going to be a lot of movement in this draft. Jets, number 16 of Simpson there. They take him in my. All right, so that'd be a big curveball right there. Simpson to the Jets without having to trade up with their second first-round pick. To me, like we talked about this on our mock draft show this past Sunday on the weekly wrap. If you have two first-round picks and you do not have a quarterback, unless it's someone like Mendoza, take your first pick, take the best player. Your second pick should be treated like kind of house money. If you don't have a quarterback, take the swing. Like franchises now are starting to learn like it's okay to move off guys early if you can tell they're not it. I think of Josh Rosen. It was 1 year, like, nope, he was a first-round pick. Right? Like Josh Rosen to the Cardinals was so bad that like 1 year, like, nope, and then they went and drafted Kyler Murray the next year. And say we want about Kyler, like he was a Pro Bowler, he got into the playoffs 1 year. They always started strong and tailed off, but he was light years beyond Josh Rosen. So I'm of the belief if you have 2 picks, you don't have a quarterback, take the swing. Where does Arizona like Ty Simpson? Yep. I think it was Les Snead who said that he thought Ty Simpson was a first rounder. I think the Rams are a sneaky, like, day 2 quarterback team. I think they're going wide receiver to start because they address pretty much their defensive needs in free agency and trade before the draft. The Rams need somebody to start developing behind Stafford because it's going to be year to year with him. And day 2 and 3, I think there's some great quarterbacks to sit and learn from him. Like them taking like Garrett Nussmeier or Aller from Penn State if he falls. Beck, like Cowboy mentioned earlier. Yes. Well, I'll bring that back up. We talked about that. That was our first topic, actually, Dolph. See, great minds think alike. This was our very first topic. Which pass rusher the Jets go with? We talked about, is it Reese or Bailey? That'd be the first big curveball would be if they don't take one of those two. Every single mock I've read has one of those two going to the Jets. And yeah, and that was our first topic. Because I didn't even talk about the Raiders and Mendoza because that's just a foregone conclusion at this point. We talked about the Jets. Which one of the pass rushers do they take? We had a few people in chat who thought Reese. Well, yeah, who do they go with? I think there's going to be for Ohio State in the top 10. Downs, Tate, Reese, and Sonny Styles, I think, are all going to go in the top 10. And again, how didn't they win the championship? It's crazy. But we are now less than 45 minutes away from the start of the draft, and Derek's in the house. Welcome, Derek. Welcome into the Come On In Sports Network, the weekly wrap special edition NFL Draft Day 1 pre-show leading up into the main show. We'll have Dolph from the Come On In Sports Network. We will have TJ. We will have Carlos and other special guests. You're going to want to see who we're able to wrangle to get into our show here tonight. There's going to be a lot of fun, as always, at the Come On In Sports Network. You'll get to hear more than me just talking. That'll be wonderful. I'll be back on after the draft to do a post-draft show. We'll talk about any big moves, anybody who kind of fell down. Is going to be another tumbler this year. It always seems like there's one or two that tumble down the draft boards. I always feel bad when it's one of the people that are at the draft for round one. That would make me, unless I'm like somebody like Mendoza or Love, like I would be so like, do I want to go sit there and have the cameras on me for 3 hours till I get drafted and watching me get all nervous and like, man, why am I getting drafted? Props to them who do that. That would not be my cup of tea. But I think edge, like the order of the edge rushers to me is also a big topic of like, it's all like kind of what flavor do you want? There's not really like a true, I don't think there's a home run. As good as Reese is, as good as Bailey is, as good as Son, like I still can see where they don't pan out. So I think the order of how they go is going to be really intriguing. Do the short arms of like Cassius Howell or hurt anybody? Does the age of like somebody like Akeem Mesidor hurt them? Or Malachi Lawrence? Like there's lots of there's big questions on it seems like almost every prospect this year that I think in most years, like we have like, I think more that just are more, I feel real confident in that pick. You know, there's more, I don't know if red flag's the right word because that's like a really big thing, but like just questions like, are you going to draft a 25-year-old? Like by the time his first contract's done, he's 30. Because, you know, like if you're a first rounder, you get that 5th-year option. He's 25 already. He's at 30 by the time you get to his second. And for some teams, that's fine. Like, hey, if we get 5 years out of the guy, that's good. But a lot of teams are thinking future, like, hey, is this guy going to be with us for our like 8 years? Derek is hoping at least one offensive lineman goes before the Saints at 8. Yeah, I think so, Derek. I think the Browns are going to go offensive line. I really do. I think they realize how they've got to build it. It doesn't matter what skill position player they get, what quarterback, what like. I really do think that because I think they're going to have the top pick of offensive linemen. I think they go with a tackle. So I definitely think one goes before 8 minimum. Okay, NFL Nation, let Lawrence know when Jeremiah Love goes off the board, he's going to the Big Apple or Nashville. Yep, Dolphin. It's like you had ESP of what we got on this, what we got going. Like that's why we're all like linked mentally here at the Come On In Sports Network. Yeah, we had that's one of our discussions too earlier was where does Love go? We talked about the Cardinals, and then the Titans. If he somehow falls past Tennessee, yeah, Giants I think would scoop him up in a heartbeat. I don't think it's even a question. But I think the Cardinals at 3 are the spot where you could see the first move coming. Daniel Jeremiah yesterday, we talked about this earlier, but if you are just joining us, had his final mock draft, and he had the Saints moving up to 3 to take Arvell Reese. And again, like Jeremiah is like a very, like, he's not like one of those, oh, I'm just doing things to be shocked, to get clicks, to get likes, to get views, you know. He's a veteran. Like he's been in the war rooms. So if he says that, to me, I think there's some smoke to that fire. So if like the Jets go Bailey and the Cardinals want to move down, which they do, like is a team like the Saints going to move up to get ahead of Tennessee to take Reese? Because if the Titans don't take Love, I think that's going to be because of Robert Saleh, and he's going to want to get his defense right. Like, say what you want about Robert Saleh, like he knows his defense. He gets it going. I just looked at when he left the Jets, not this like when he was fired, like game 5, I think it was. That defense went downhill bad after he left. And look what he did last year. Kind of like he MacGyvered the defense. Like how many injuries did the Niners have? And he was still able to put together a solid unit. I pray we don't flitch. Just stay put and take BPA. I'm not a Saints fan. Correct me if I'm wrong. Loomis has never done one or the other, right? He's never either. Is it Loomis has never traded back? Is that what it is? He must have traded up before. But I think he's never traded back, correct? Saints fans, if you can help me out on that. Yeah, you'd have to give up a decent amount to get up to 3. I don't think the Saints should. When I saw Daniel Jeremiah make that trade yesterday in his mock draft, I'm like, man, that's kind of like I think the Saints are in a perfect spot. I think Tate or Downs is going to fall. One of those two will fall to him. Fall to them. I think they're in a really good spot to fill a need without giving anything up. Okay, there. I knew it was one or the other, and I was pretty sure it was back. So, yes, thank you, Derek, for confirming that to me. He's addicted to trading up. So you're just hoping that addiction is kind of in check tonight. So, Derek, you're a Saints fan. Is there anybody at the bottom of the first you would want the Saints to move back up in to get? Like you make your pick at 8, let's say. But is there anybody that if they fall down to like late 20s, early like or 30, 31, or 32 that you would like, man, I'd give up a second and third for him? You have anybody on your radar of that would be somebody you would want to do that for? That's why I love the end of the first round is like you get those teams that want to get up in that first round. They want to get that 5th year option. You know, that's the end of the round is exciting because of that to me. We are 35 minutes away from the start of the NFL draft, everybody. Months of mock drafts and measurements and 3-cone drills and measuring arms or fingers like we joked about on our show Sunday. It's over. The Underwear Olympics is done. It is going to be draft time. It's going to be here. And essentially, rosters are going to be pretty much set. By this time next week, the college free agents, the draft is done. The veterans that are kind of waiting around to see what happens in the draft, they're mostly going to start signing. I think some will start signing tonight and tomorrow before the second day of the draft. People like DJ Reader, I think, will sign. Matt Milano. Cowboys, that's one that I mentioned, Dolph, earlier, was like, I think the Cowboys will be a mover. I think they're just outside of like getting the true impact guys at 12. So I could 100% see Jerry either A, because Pickens signed his franchise tag, using Pickens and maybe a later round pick to move up to get somebody, or you just couple both your first round picks, move up and get the defensive guy you want. So now Derek does not want to move at all. He is good staying pat and getting who you get. Or as an elementary teacher like myself, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. Right? Or if anybody remembers that from, I'll probably bring back some memories for some people, or crisscross applesauce, bubbles and wings, those types of things. But yeah, I'm mostly for the Bills doing that, or I'm okay trading back as a Bills fan. I like getting more picks. The more picks you have, the better chance you have of hitting something good. Yes, I'm with Dolph. The Cowboys making a trade ahead of the Giants. So, Dolph, who would it be in your mind if the Cowboys are making that trade? Is it for Downs? Is it for like Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese? Like, who is the player that would make them make that move? Because I think I agree with you. If they're looking for like Downs, I really do think they got to get ahead of the Giants. I think Downs is a Giant. Like, that's my prediction of where Downs goes. It makes too much sense. When I think of the Ravens, like in Harbaugh's years, always had strong safety play. And what he's done with the Giants is like he's making Baltimore North, right? I think in a year or two, you'll see they'll be so similar. The Giants will be so similar to his best teams that he had in Baltimore. So I really do. Yeah, I think Downs is the perfect fit for what they want to do. The style they want to play. He's versatile. He can do lots of things. 2-time All-Pro, right? He stepped on the field and was a star for Alabama as a true freshman. Went to Ohio State, making packages, making plays. I said packages, reading your thing, Derek. I wouldn't mind packaging some of our late picks to move back into the third or fourth. To me, that's why I would accumulate those picks, is for that, Derek. I'm with you. Accumulate those late round picks, like the 4, 5, 6, and 7s, to move up into the rounds 1, 2, and 3. If you need like 2 fifth-round picks to move up 15 spots, do it. I'm with you on that 100%. But we are 30 minutes from the end of this show, which will lead right into the Come On In Sports Network as the NFL turns special edition NFL Draft Day 1, Round 1 from Pittsburgh. Dolph, Carlos, TJ, other guests, other Come On In Sports personalities. Zach, I think, will be joining in. I think we'll have some more joining in along the way as well. We'll have wire-to-wire coverage. We'll have every pick, analysis of it, thoughts of it, your thoughts on it. You have thoughts throughout tonight, throw it in the chat. It's on the screen. We talk about your thoughts, your picks. That's why we're called the Come On In Sports Network. It's not just a saying, it's come in with us. We want you here. We want you to be a part of the show every time we're on. And if you are new to us, so thank you for joining us. Do drop likes and follows if you're on us either watching YouTube or X. Much appreciated as we grow those platforms. I am Lawrence Foster with Come On In Sports. I do the weekly wrap every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Special editions the next 2 nights. Pre and post draft shows of the weekly wrap. And then obviously Sunday at 7 p.m. I'll be back with Dolph at 7 to go over just the entire draft as a whole and kind of look into the future. The next big thing for the NFL after these 3 days will be the release of the schedule, which I'm glad they started doing after the draft now. I remember for a while, like it was before the draft. Like that's kind of silly. If I'm the NFL, I want to see where everybody goes. Like where's Mendoza go? Like obviously we know the Raiders, but in years past, like you didn't know where the quarterbacks are going. And you want to showcase them, especially early in the year before like the rigors of the NFL season may take a toll and then nobody wants to watch them. So the NFL I think, was smart in moving the release of the schedule till May. Because then they can all right, free agency is essentially done. Major trades are essentially done. The draft is done. So they know who's who, where's where. And they can make and put the best matchups in the best time slots and positions to get eyes on it. So smart move by them. And a lot of people, I think, are very happy about the NFL going to 8 minutes between picks, which I think I should probably note that. The NFL has went from 10 to 8 minutes in between picks in the first round. So if you're somebody who kind of is like, oh, my team picks 15th, I'm going to time it out. Time it a little bit different because 2 minutes for 14 picks makes a big difference. You might miss your team's pick. So it has switched to 8 minutes instead of 10, which, I mean, you multiply that by 32. That's a good hour and 5 minutes saved if everyone takes maximum time. So I guess that's good in terms of like the post-game show won't be so late. Tomorrow night is 7 p.m. Eastern is the start time for rounds 2 and 3, day 2 of the draft. Once again, we'll be back with you with my post-game show with a weekly wrap, and then once again live throughout rounds 2 and 3. And while other people may pack up and leave, we will still be here Saturday for rounds 4 through 7. That's where the backbone and the guts of teams are formed. They're not throwaway rounds, guys. Like impact starters are there. I got lots of pings tonight from the phone. Never get those. All right. Speaking of Dolph, my goodness, I'm ready for you to be in here, Dolph, and take a break on my voice. Dolph, you're on mute. Dolph, if you can hear me, we can't. All right. But Dolph Jackson's in the house, ladies and gentlemen, your host for the draft tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. He'll be live with you throughout round 1, bringing his patented energy, his patented style. Welcome in, Dolph.
What's going on, Lawrence? NFL Nation, how you doing, baby? Come on in. We are live on the Come On In Sports Network. This is the final. I'm about to say the finals. No, Dolph. I'm so hyped. I'm getting tongue twisted, baby. This is the weekly wrap with your host, the one and only Mr. Lawrence Foster. I'm Dolph Jackson, baby. Listen, we're going to have some fun tonight. Come on in, NFL, our coverage of the 2026 NFL Draft. Listen, man, let's give a great round of applause to my guy, Lawrence, for holding it down, getting us started, man, getting us off on the right track. I see my who that's in the chat. I see some Chiefs fans in the chat. Listen, we want to hear from everybody tonight, baby. Listen, we're going to have a great show. Carlos will be in the building. PJ will be in the building. And we're going all the way across the pond, baby, to Great Britain. Our brother, Mr. TJ Tracy, will be in the building. Host of Fly Eagles Fly, baby, on the Come On In Sports Network. And we just starting. Lawrence, of course, will be back with the post-game show, and we got some special guests coming in. We got Mr. Orlando Ledbetter will be in of the Atlanta Journal. He covers the Atlanta Falcons. We got our brother, Cowboy, host of Atlanta Falcons Fandemic, will be in the building. We got joining us, just like he did last week, our brother, friend of the show, Mr. James Patrick of the Farm Media Network, will be in the building for the entirety of tonight's draft. And other people, we don't know, anybody might pop in. Just come on in. Lawrence, you're holding it down. You're doing a good job. Just wanted to pop in, let everybody know we getting ready, baby. Dolphins here. I'm about to jump out. But before I go, here's the question, Lawrence. Did you ask this question too? Who would be the first offensive lineman selected tonight? I think it's going to be a surprise. I'm going to call it right now. Spencer Fano is the first offensive lineman off the board tonight.
All right. I love it, Dolph. To who? That's the question. Who is the first one to take it?
Hey, I'm thinking Cleveland.
That was my thoughts exactly too.
I'm thinking the Browns. You need help on that offensive line. You got to protect whoever the quarterback is, Watson, Shedeur, Gabriel, or whoever they draft tonight, Todd Simpson. You know, you never know with the Browns. They might draft another quarterback. If not tonight, just hold on. We got 2 more days. You never know with them. So, but yeah, man, very excited. Great time here at the Come On In Sports Network. As y'all can see, listen, we got some big things coming for y'all in the very near future. Y'all already know once the season starts, the fastest growing pregame show on all the social media as the NFL turns will be returning. And by the way, I can't forget, my brother will be popping in tonight. That's right, the co-host of Come On In Saints, the one and only legendary Coach Rock. The game has changed, baby, and he's on that oatmeal, baby. So there's no telling what's going to come out of his mouth tonight.
He's going to get drafted tonight, Dolph, 70th round.
That's right. Last tackle he made was in 1987. He get his ass out there if he won't be leaving on the stretcher.
Oh, hey, but it worked in the longest yard, right? It worked. That's how they won the game.
That's how they won the game. That's how they won the game, man. But hey, I see Derek L's in the building. D, I see you, baby. How you doing? Come on in. Uncle Jerry's in the building. Uncle Jerry say, go Lawrence. That's right. Hey, Lawrence representing, baby, for them Bills. Who else is in the building? Cowboys in the building. Nothing. What? Not a human being. What are you? Aliens? What's going on? Not a human being. Come on in. Welcome to the show, man. We got Andre M-Min 7BX. God damn it. AMN. That's what I'm gonna call you. AMN is in the building. Come on in. Thank you for being here, baby. Oh, we just get started, baby. The juices are flowing, baby. Tonight, family. Woo, what a night. I'm tired of the mock drafts. And by the way, 99.9% of every mock draft we have heard leading up to the night will be wrong.
Guys, I want to talk about our mock draft quick. A few changes I've seen in mock drafts this week are things that we put in our Sunday. That Tennessee cornerback falling because of his injury, we had that.
Jamal.
We had Thieneman going to where a lot of mocks are moving them now. So we had to come on in Sports Network. We were kind of ahead of the game with our mock draft, and now I see other big drafters kind of doing some of the things we had going on last Sunday.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
We're spitting the knowledge here, guys. Hang out with us. You're gonna get some knowledge nuggets dropped on you real quick.
We're not looking for takes, baby.
We're not just good looking. We got some brains here, dog.
We fact, baby. We got receipts, baby. We got receipts. And listen, it's all about you, though, baby. We want your participation in the chat. Let us know if you like a pick, if you don't like a pick, if you love what the team that you hate, your bitter rival. Do you hate what they do? Me and Cowboy gonna have some words tonight. That's my brother, but I can't stand that ugly ass black and red that he's wearing, and he can't stand in black and gold that I'm wearing. But that's my brother, you know. But anyway, man, listen. Great show, man. Lawrence, you're doing a great job, man. We appreciate you. I'm about to get off here because we got a few more things to do to get ready, but I wanted to come show my face, show everybody. Listen, hanging there with my boy Lawrence. He look, y'all already know. He's very knowledgeable. He knows exactly what he's talking about. He ain't gonna BS shit because that's not what we do here, baby. We go keep it straight. We go give you the real. And it's simple. Either you gonna like it or you gonna not. Or you not. You gonna agree or you gonna disagree. But we all could agree one thing. We love this time of the year and we love the NFL draft. So with that being said, family, I'm gonna skip on out of here. But remember, the doors are now open. So come on in. Right after the pregame show, we go live, baby. And it's gonna be a whole lot of us. We gonna have some fun tonight. All right, Lawrence, I'll see you in a minute, brother.
Yes, thanks for dropping in, Dolph. And like Dolph said, everybody, right after us at 8 o'clock Eastern, right at the start of the draft on TV, the Comment in Sports main channel will be hosting their main show. Dolph bringing the energy, TJ, Carlos, Zach, special guest Orlando D. Ledbetter. Lots of guests and special sprinkles coming in, guys. The energy will be there. We are 19 minutes away from the start of the draft. Derek, appreciate that, my man. Thank you so much. I'm very glad to be working with the Come On In Sports Network. I had lots of fun here. Lots of guys are very knowledgeable and watching everybody grow. Love it. Love to see the same viewers come in every week. That's what, like, the community to me is the best part of sports. Like a symbol can just bring people together who never met each other, no matter what walk of life you're from. You see somebody wearing, like, I was a Bills fan. Anytime I see a Bills fan, go Bills, or like they see me first, they just say go Bills. We don't even think about it. You know, that's why I love sports. You have that instant camaraderie. You have that instant, even if somebody's wearing another team, you can just joke with them like, oh man, a Pat fan, like, obviously, I don't like them, but it's all in good fun, good-natured dislike. It's like, I don't like the team, but I respect that you're a fan of them. So that's what Dolph was talking about. We got lots of fan bases here at the Come On In Sport Network. We have the Falcons, the Eagles, the Chiefs are represented, the Bills are represented, the Raiders with non. So we got lots of different fan bases, but we all bring the passion, the energy, the respect. And I think that's something that's why sports is such a great unifier, and sports is used as a unifier. The Olympics, the World Cup, the President's Cup, all these things that are just the World Baseball Classic, it just brings people together, and I love it. The draft 18 minutes away, guys. So any last final questions? What do you want to – I think a good question I'll put up here on the banner. I just thought of it. What is the one player you don't want your enemy rival to get? We'll put that up there. What is the one player you don't want your rival to get?
Hello.
Hi, TJ. How we doing? Welcome in. This is the pre-show, but welcome in, my guy. I don't know if you're looking for Dolph, he's in the other one, but you're welcome here, my man.
How you doing?
How we doing? Eagles across the pond here for the show. How? What do you see for your Eagles coming up, TJ?
Oh, offensive tackle. That's what I see. What Eagles taking. We are going to get essentially Lane Johnson's replacement. He's 37 now, coming to the end of his career. We need someone to replace him, and Harry Roseman has always said he'll invest in the trenches before anything. And if not a tackle, a guard for Landon Dickerson, who's already said he might retire early. But who knows? I've got him having a safety. I think he's going to break a trend and take a safety if it's available. But yeah, what's your predictions for this draft?
I think lots of chaos, lots of movement, and your team is known for that. So,
indeed.
And you know, one thing you talk about offensive tackle, and what the Eagles do really well, I think, is draft ahead of the need 100% having to be picked. You guys draft early so you're ready for when you have to have them. You do a great job of that. So I think tackle is 100% a realistic thing for you guys to do there.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Absolutely. We want to get these players in, and we want to get these players learning from their predecessor. It worked with Cam Jurgens, with Jason Kelsey. Obviously, John Mailata was learning from, I've completely forgotten now, the bodyguard.
You did it with Jalen Hurts.
Did it with Jalen Hurts, Carson Wentz, all that. Yeah, Jalen Carter and Cox, all those kinds of things. Nolan Smith and BG, but BG has stuck around. So that's what we want. We want to learn. We want these people to learn from essentially these great players who've been doing it for a while, and these great players are mature enough and know that we are passing on the mantle. Darius Slay, Quinion Mitchell, and it's a great sort of environment to build up in. But yeah, it's going to be at some sort of tackle or people reckon edge. I don't see we're going to go edge again. Obviously, we've got the possibility of wide receiver, depending on how AJ Brown goes.
Yeah. So, well, do you believe this rumor? Like everyone says, June 1st, he's a Patriot. Do you believe that? You believe that's a true thing or just smoke?
I thought it was smoke for a long time. I really did, and especially with all this drama coming out with Vrabel. And then Schefter's come out, but a lot of what Schefter said is, I think, I feel. So it's not been a confirmed thing. So who knows? Who honestly knows? I've got a feeling it will happen now. I still don't know if it is going to be the Patriots because even more drama has come out.
So let me ask you. I just heard this I was listening to ESPN before I came on. They were talking about the draft eventually going to overseas.
Oh yeah.
So let me get your thoughts. I mean, is the draft a big deal outside of the USA? You guys always sell tickets to games, but is the draft a big deal for you guys?
It's not as big deal as like we have draft parties and stuff like that. However, people who aren't into the NFL, like sit down and watch the games, are into the draft because it's so technical and it's like a different level of sport that we're not used to. Because over here, there's no salary cap, there's no draft. People who have the biggest pockets get the best players. So when it comes to the draft and the trading and the back and forth and the negotiations, it does intrigue a lot of British fans who aren't used to it. It's obviously complicated as hell. I've tried to explain what's going to go on to a couple of my friends, but they're getting it. So,
All right, Nan is in the house. Welcome in, Nan.
Hello.
We got TJ and Lawrence here with the pre-show. We got about 10 minutes left till we turn it over to the main channel. So, how are we doing tonight, Nan?
Hello.
Doing all right, guys. Came in because I was looking at the stream on Twitch, and I was like, I need to put something on that background. That background's so black. It's bothering me.
Yeah, we got you. So, Nan, let's go with you. We've had a few topics tonight. What do you think is going to be the first big curveball?
First big curveball.
Yeah.
Ooh, good one.
That's interesting. It's gonna be somebody's gonna do something stupid to give KC a good pick. It's gonna happen again. It's gonna happen again. We know a couple years ago there was Philly who did something. Buffalo did something special. Somebody's gonna do it again and slip up. It's what's gonna happen. I just have a feeling about it. Just have a feeling. It always happens where they come away with something, and we all look at each other like, what the F? who chose that? Who did that? And like we said, Buffalo was a culprit last year. So let's see who does it this year. Somebody's going to do it. All
right, TJ, for you, what's going to be like the big curveball in round one?
My big curveball is if another QB comes off the board. Because we all pretty much know who the number one pick is.
Yep.
But after him, no one predicts any other QBs taken in round
Yeah,
one.
they all consider
obviously-
projects.
Yeah, precisely. But we have some very QB needed teams. Arizona's a big one out there. I don't imagine they take one, but
I think they said they're running with Jacoby for at least a season.
really, wow, damn.
He actually did. He did well when boy went down and he decided not to play.
Yeah.
He did well.
No, fair enough. I know there's been some issues there that he wants if he's a starter a bit starting money.
You know,
Oh yeah.
Dolph's prediction when Dolph's thing was the Jets take Ty Simpson at 16. So your thoughts on that when Dolph made that was his curveball of the Jets taking him with the second first round pick.
Being that they have Geno now, I mean,
I liked it. I
wouldn't be surprised at it because it gives them, if Geno can play better than what he did when he played for us, just give them something, 6-7 wins. It'll be a plus where they could pick up a quarterback that's a project and give him a full year, and then hopefully next year he can start possibly.
Yeah, because imagine if Simpson works out and the Jets go into next year with 3 first-round picks, already having a quarterback set. How much that would
be something. That would be beautiful for them. That would be beautiful for them.
Now, you don't think the Jets signed or got Geno Smith hoping that they do what the Raiders did and end up with the first pick, right? That's not the reason for signing Geno.
I don't think so. I'm hoping they see when we got him, we thought we can get the Geno from a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Before that was pretty good. Got them about 7 wins. That's people don't understand. When we picked up Geno, it wasn't to go to Super Bowl.
No,
it wasn't go. So it was say, can you get us 6 or 7 wins?
Yeah,
so we can show progress. And of
not.
course, that's not what happened. You know, hence why we have the number 1 pick. But
yeah.
So in our favor, if the Mendoza thing pans out, even with the Kirk Cousins situation, then it was a win-win for us.
100%.
But if now for the Jets with Geno, I mean, fingers crossed. I have friends who are Jets fans, and they're like hoping that Geno can beat Geno, not our Geno, but the Geno from Seattle for at least a season. And that, if they can do it, then it'll work out for them. But if he turns up to be, lame like he did for us, then it's going to be a very long season for Jets fans.
So let me bring this up because both of you are like, obviously you got the Ashton Genty, TJ, you got Saquon. Love. Yeah. Is Love somebody that if you didn't have a running back and like you needed one, would he be somebody you move up for? Or do you think he's not at the level of a Genty or a Saquon? What's your thoughts on Love?
That's a good question. I wouldn't say he's not at the level. He might not be there yet, but also both those players. I mean, both players have had their time in the NFL, so the experience is different. So it's not to say he couldn't become one of those players. The potential is always there. That also is up to coaching, but also up to the player in their heart. You know what I'm saying? Because people forget a big part of playing football is actually heart.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a big part of football, and people always negate that part. But heart is so much bigger than anything else than your physical skill. Because if you don't believe in yourself, you don't believe you can do it, you're not going to do it.
Yeah, so that's the mental aspect you can never really truly measure.
Yeah, and you can't really teach that.
No,
you can guide it, but you can't teach it. You hope those players have that or something that you can grab onto and build from. But you can't really teach a player to have that. So
100%.
I mean, I would definitely say there is potential. There was potential as far as him being a Josh Jacobs or even like that. Anything is freaking possible, especially when it comes to the running back position. Because if the team doesn't value that position, then he won't be valued.
TJ, your thoughts on Love?
Yeah, no, he's obviously he's got the explosive, like the burst, the balance, the dynamics, it's all there. But yeah, you're spot on. A running back's not gonna fix all of your problems straight away.
Yeah,
like you need help. Saquon, when he was in the Giants, he had his explosive years, but when the O-line wasn't there, he got no help and he couldn't develop. Look at when he was at the Eagles, when we had the Super Bowl run, the holes were massive. O-line was helping him, he was exploding, all that. Last year, bad play calling, bad O-line, he was getting stuffed at the line. And obviously, if you've got these teams, if they don't invest in the O-line to then help their explosive running back, of course he's not going to be dynamic. And if they use him right, look at Genty. I think it was Genty last year by the Raiders.
Yeah.
He was talked about, loved, and they just didn't use him right. He'd have one game of explosion, and then they'll go back to nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Exactly. And it wasn't because of Genty, it was because of the coaching.
Yeah.
There's obvious games where he did really well, but then all of a sudden, why we ran him 4 times in the first quarter and then we don't see him again until the third quarter? Like, what are we doing?
You are spot on there.
And I think that's the underrated. You'd mentioned about getting Mendoza being a win. I think you guys getting Carroll gone and bringing into mind like Kubiak is like a really good get for you guys.
Yes, I agree 100% with that. I agree.
So guys, we got about 3 minutes left. I know because you guys are going to the main show at 8. So I want to give you guys a chance to have any last major thoughts before I get ready to close us out and send everybody on over to the main channel for the main draft. So TJ, we'll start with you. Just your thoughts or excitement level just heading into the draft. Where's your mind at?
Oh, I'm really excited for this one. I said this on Carlos's channel. I think this is going to be one of the drafts with the most trades in. Just people are going to be moving about where they are, where they consider the talent is at the time. They'll either drop down, try and get draft compensation. So yeah, I'm more looking forward to seeing how many trades are going to happen in the first round here. And obviously, teams have less time this year, if I remember correctly. They shortened it.
Yep.
Maybe we have a team skip it because they always take it close to the clock. It always seems to go to the last minute.
Yep, it's happened a couple times in the past, right?
It has,
It can happen. Nan, how about your mind and excitement level heading into the draft? Obviously, you're getting your quarterback, so you're probably pretty fun.
I've told Dolph, I said, of all my time as being a Raiders fan, this is the first time that I can remember in my entire soul that I felt like we were actually doing the right thing.
Oh, wow.
Like, the Raiders have always picked up players that are good players, but we picked them at the wrong time.
Right.
So we picked them up when we didn't need them. Like we got veterans and gave them the bag when we didn't need them. It's like, we don't need that person right now. We need this person. Go get this person. But hopefully this time the Mendoza pickup will, still fingers crossed, because could be like you said, could be a change. Could be somebody else. Because now that we got Kirk Cousins, they could be, because really they want Archie Manning more than they want Mendoza. So that's what the truth is. That's what Brady wants. But hopefully everything goes well. Hopefully the draft is crazy. I'm looking for trades too, like TJ said. But we'll see. It should be fun. It should be a fun outing.
Quick 30 seconds. You both mentioned trade. TJ, which is it? Cowboys? Who's going to be the one that makes the big trade?
To make the big trade.
Yeah, who's the one moving up?
Maybe Philly.
I reckon Philly is going to trade. I actually do think Harry Roseman's going to trade up. He tries every year. Depends if people pick up the phone.
Yeah.
But I think the shocking one, I can see the Cowboys moving up quite drastically, because I know there's a couple people on their board they really like.
Yeah.
20 seconds. Who's your predicted trade up team?
Like I said, because of all the hate that Jalen has gotten the last 2 seasons, I don't know. I can see Philly doing something, try to give them another receiver that's a quality receiver, or they feel it's a top 10 receiver or number 1. I can see them doing that, but I think Philly. The run game is good with Philly, but it's the receiving game that they always have. They tend to have issues within the season.
All right, and that leads us up to 1 minute left. I'm going to be closing it out, so we have the outro. You guys can head on over to the Commenting Sports Network. We'll be live with you throughout the draft. TJ, Nan, Dolph, Carlos, Zach, other guests will be joining on the main channel throughout the draft. I'll be back for the post-draft show. TJ, Nan, thanks for dropping in. Jerry, normal guy, everyone who dropped in, thank you guys. This is a special edition of the weekly wrap. Have a great draft, guys. Enjoy it. We'll catch you later. And as we always say, the door's open. So come on in.
Come on in.
Global Esports Network.